Hello again, everyone. Keta Kosman, publisher of Madison's Lumber Reporter, here to give you something very exciting, a little bit different than what I've done in the past. It came up during my conversations with a commodities broker globally for metals and agriculture. Doesn't normally deal with lumber, but we just got talking, as two geeks will do, and very interesting things that came up out of it. So first, I want to speak a little bit about, I've been seeing a lot of folks like on YouTube or TikTok, I don't really know, but it gets shown on YouTube that this is lumber price gouging. This one fellow has 500,000 views talking about, price gouging. Look at this. I'm at a sawmill, lumber stacked up to the sky. Camera pans over. It's logs. This is logs. Logs are not lumber. If you're going by a sawmill and you see a lot of logs, you're happy, because it means they have feedstock to make more lumber, to sell more lumber. Maybe the price will go down. Okay, so just when people are looking for information and they see someone who's never talked about lumber before, they had no opinion when the price was down for 10 years, since the housing crash of 2006 until like 2015. Now all of a sudden they're like experts, they get 500,000 views. Why? I don't know why. They don't know what they're talking about. Logs are not lumber. Okay, so I have some really interesting graphs that I'm going to show here. What we've done is, with this commodities broker that I had a chat with, is taken the price of lumber futures, which is US dollars per thousand board feet, and seen what is the buying power of other commodities. So let's just start right off and have a look. I want to let you know that I posted this exact information on my website. So, if you want to take a time to look over the graphs and what is the commentary that I'm saying, just go to my website, to the story. The link is in my caption. So first off, we have how much is the price of lumber if paid in gold, which looks completely normal, obviously, because the dollar is based on gold. Now we have, just for fun, the price of lumber futures, the colored line in Canadian dollars, and the blue line is the price of the composite, which is a blend of the main lumber commodities, in US dollars. Okay, so here we have, for fun, 1,000 barrels of crude oil if bought in Bitcoin. Okay, so what this is saying is, Bitcoin prices are going up so much that the price of oil over time looks down. So this is where the comparison gets really juicy. We've got the price of lumber if paid in Bitcoin, right? So the red line is just futures price straight up, and the blue line is what is the price of lumber if it's purchased in Bitcoin rather than in dollars. So now, keeping in mind that previous chart that was showing the price of WTI if paid in Bitcoin, and the previous graph showing the price of lumber if bought in Bitcoin, here we have the price of lumber if bought in oil. And the spike there that I'm pointing to of the blue line in April of 2020 shows lumber is inexpensive if bought in oil. And then at this time of year now, lumber is expensive if bought in oil, or conversely, oil is expensive. This is the same information as that previous graph, just showing a longer timeline. And this is what I mean when people are complaining about the big red spikes just at the right side of that graph. Where were they all between, 2007 and 2015 when lumber prices were so low? So another interesting comparison, the price of lumber if paid in pounds of copper. Copper and lumber are both used in construction, but copper is more infrastructure and building, industrial building, as opposed to lumber, which is, of course, housing. And there's a good correlation there, showing you the movement over time, especially the impact of the COVID, 1 year ago. So now it starts to get really interesting. The green line is the price of lumber if paid in corn. The blue shadow in the background is straight up just lumber futures prices. So that high green line from, the middle of 2000, from 2007 till 2014 means lumber prices are low. And toward the end of, on the right side, showing that lumber prices are high if paid in corn. The important thing is that lumber is not an essential item. Lumber is not a necessity like food. So if the lumber prices are high, that bodes well. It means good things for the economy, for building, for housing, and for the GDP. This is the exact same information, except the yellow background is the price of corn on the spot market, and it just demonstrates what's the differential between lumber and food. This is an excellent map showing where the migration of people moving over the past year. The green states are people moving into, and the pink states are people moving out of. If you go to my website, I give you an explanation of why that is. Okay, so fascinating, right? I mean, why am I showing you this? I find it fascinating. It's the dynamic. What is the market doing? The market sets the price. People who never said anything about lumber are now saying the government should get involved. What are they talking about? When the price was low and everybody was just building and renovating their houses, no problem. Everybody's a free market capitalist. When the price is high, they don't understand why. All they see is that they go to the shelf of the retailer, they start screaming, it's price gouging, look at how much lumber is at the sawmill, when it's not even lumber, it's logs. And they start saying the government should get involved. They're a bunch of socialists all of a sudden. I'm not saying everybody, but these people who are making videos and commenting and declaring that this is what's happening with the lumber market, and, blaming the sawmills or blaming the retailers, that's not what it is. The fact is that the demand from the building and the renovating caught everyone by surprise at a time when the market was depressed, when lumber prices were low, when demand was low. So this is a simple reaction to a normal situation of supply and demand. People are reacting to this change by their guts, by just their eyeballs, without really looking at the situation of the reality of what is the supply and what is the demand. Housing starts in the US comes out next week. This will include permits. As I said before in my other videos, permits are an excellent forward indicator. Of course, not all permits become a house, but a good 2/3 of permits traditionally have been construction started. And in the last year, it's been a much higher percentage just because the demand is so nonstop. So next week, April housing starts will be telling us what was going on last month. And the permit applications will be telling us what is going to be happening on the ground with construction next month. April permits mean June starts. So check back. Click subscribe to my YouTube if you really want the full lumber market update of prices and commentary every Friday that goes to paying subscribers. Go on my website and fill in a form under the subscribe menu. And next week I'll be making some more videos. Lumber prices are up today, once again. Don't look at futures. Futures are down because the May contract closed today, and it ballooned up about $200 higher than cash and had to correct because it's legislated that futures contract close must meet cash within $1, and the prices that Madison's prints, that's cash. Print and cash as opposed to futures. So thanks for watching, and check back again.